welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global TV. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has called for an equitable access to capital for developing countries, saying that such will provide the much-needed resources for development, thus solving some of the most pressing challenges in the world today. Speaking at the 19th Summit of Heads of State and Government of Non-Aligned Movement at the weekend in Kampala, Uganda, President Tinubu, however, pointed out that the developing world is not looking for sympathy or begging, but fair and equal opportunity. The president, who was represented at the summit by the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, noted that the combined population of 120 countries that make up the non-aligned movement is over 4.4 billion, or about 55% of the world's population. Yet the total financial resources available to all these countries are much less than that of some countries. President Tinubu also listed the challenges facing the world currently, to include climate change, conflict and war, terrorism, and widening inequality, stressing that this calls for greater collaboration between and among member states as they struggle to achieve sustainable development goals. Still on, President Bola Tinubu has approved the reappointment of Dr. Bayero Farah as Director General, Chief Executive Officer, Nigerian Institute of Transport Technology, NITT Zaria, for a second term of 4 years. This is contained in a statement by the spokesperson of the Institute, John Kolawole, and made available to newsmen in Zaria on Friday. According to him, the reappointment is in accordance with the provisions of the Nigerian Institute of Transport Technology Act 1986 laws of the Federation of Nigeria. He stated that Farah possessed track record of sterling and exceptional performance, which led to the massive and unprecedented transformation of NITT to its unrivaled status since inception in 1986. The Federal Ministries of Works and Defense and the Nigerian Army (NA) are collaborating on a comprehensive approach to tackle the insecurity challenges confronting parts of the country through road infrastructure enhancement and expansion. It emerged on Friday. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, said the collaboration is part of the strategic and holistic security roadmap of federal government. Umahi stated this in a statement by his spokesman, Uchenna Orji, following his closed-door meeting with the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, and the Chief of Army Staff, COAS, Lieutenant General Tarid Lagbaja, in office. According to Umahi, the focus of the collaboration is on strengthening collaborations towards improving the nation's internal security through revolution road infrastructure development. And now the Kano State Committee for the Renewal of Wasteful and Unnecessary Government Assets has stated that appointees of the immediate past Governor Aminu Tambuwal went away with no fewer than 745 government vehicles. The committee said it was able to recover only 32 of the vehicles, adding that 40 of them have been taken to Niger Republic. The committee's chairman, Alhaji Jalini Kalgo, while presenting the report of his findings to Governor Ahmed Aliyu, said the committee also discovered a government property sold for 60 million naira, but only 30 million naira was remitted. Still on the news, Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa has said the burial of the late former Governor Rotimi Akeredolu won't be a gloomy affair, but a celebration of life. Ayedatiwa also said Akeredolu would be given a state burial, adding that his family is being awaited for further briefing on the burial rites. The governor said this while receiving the new Vice-Chancellor of Elizade University, Larry Mokum, Professor Kayode Ejadonola, who visited him in Akure. Ayedatiwa noted that Elizade University is a fantastic institution, saying the state government holds the founder, Chief Michael Adeojo, in high esteem. Earlier, Ejadonola called for a strong collaboration between the Ondo State government and the university. This was contained in a statement by the school's head, Public Relations, Williams Olufumi. An explosion in Kidadang village of Ginwa local government area of Kaduna State has claimed the life of a pupil of Islamia school, while 10 others have reportedly been injured. The overseeing Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs in Kaduna, Samuel Aruwan, in a statement said the explosion was being investigated by security agencies. Aruwan said one pupil, Zaidu Usman, has been confirmed dead, while about 10 others were injured and receiving medical attention at the Ahmadu Bello University Teaching Hospital, Shika, Zaria. He said the governor has also appealed to parents and community leaders to increase their vigilance on the activities of their children and wards, given their susceptibility to various dangers. The Federal Capital Territory Police Command has revealed details of how the Al-Qadir sisters and other abducted victims were rescued from the bandits' den in Kajaru Forest in Kaduna State by a joint team of policemen and soldiers of the Nigerian Army on Saturday night. About 23 persons were abducted on January 2nd, 2024 in the Zuma 1 area of Kawu in the Buhari Area Council of Abuja. The police on Sunday confirmed that all victims, including 5 sisters, whose abduction had raised nationwide concerns, were rescued at about 11 p.m. on Saturday and had since been reunited with their families. The bandits terrorizing the FCT and neighboring states of Kaduna, Nasarawa, and Niger were camped in the Kajaru Forest in the southern Kaduna area of Kaduna State. Food and animal experts have stated that consumption of animal blood as meat, especially from diseased animals, could lead to another outbreak of Anthrax, among other zoonotic disease. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention in July 2023 confirmed the anthrax outbreak in a mixed livestock farm in Niger State. It can be transmitted through the consumption of raw, undercooked meat and other products of the affected animals. The WHO stated that there are over 200 types of zoonosis comprising a large percentage of the new and existing disease in humans. According to an animal feed resource information system, Feedipedia, blood collected during the slaughter of various livestock species such as cattle, pigs, and chickens under the wide range of conditions is dried through a solar, oven, drum flash, and spray drying. The Nigerian Navy ship Beecroft Patrol Team, in collaboration with the Forward Operation Base Badagry, has said they arrested a wooden boat with over 800 jerry cans of 30 liters of petroleum motor spirit close to the boundary between Nigeria and Benin Republic. In a statement by the NNS Beecroft Base Information Officer, Sub-Lieutenant H. Collins, the arrest was made on Friday. The commander, Commodore Kolawale Oguntuga, said the boat, which was sailing seaward 18 nautical miles from the shore, was intercepted by NNS Beecroft Patrol Team in collaboration with the Forward Operating Base Badagry. Still on the news, the Federal Road Safety Corps Kogi State Sector Command has said that there was a 14% reduction in the death toll from road crashes in the state in 2023. The FRSC, however, said that it recorded 58 auto crashes in which 28 persons died during the 2023 Yuletide. The sector commander, Samuel Oyedeji, disclosed this on Friday in Lokoja, the state capital. Oyedeji said that the casualty figure was a 14% decrease compared to the 2022-23 period, adding that there was, however, an increase in RTCs from 50 to 58. He explained that the considerable reduction in the number of persons killed in the road traffic crashes was due to a series of measures put in place by the command during the Operation Zero Tolerance of the Corps. You're watching the Midday News, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us all social media platforms using at Global TV and other handles now showing on your screen. When Midday News returns, stock market records unprecedented 6.3 trillion naira gain. The news continues shortly with details on these and more stories right after this break. Do stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of midday news. Thank you for staying with us. And over now to our foreign decks, the President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Felix, is to be sworn in for a second five-year term on Saturday after sweeping elections, where the opposition has branded a sham, calling for protests. With tension simmering in the vast nation's versatile eastern province, the 60-year-old president was picked Kinshasa's 80,000 capacity Matras Sports Stadium for the ceremony. 18 other heads of state will attend, according to the authorities. His first swearing in January 2019 over controversially defeating Joseph Kabila took place in the gardens of the Palace of Nations, a solemn venue that has traditionally staged important official events. And still on our foreign news, the White House announced that U.S. President Joseph Biden has dispatched a delegation of top officials to attend Monday's inauguration of the Liberian President-elect Joseph Boakai, signaling Washington's intent to strengthen bilateral relations with the West African nation. The delegation, led by U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas-Greenfield, includes senior White House and State Department officials, reflecting the importance Biden places on U.S.-Liberian ties. In a statement, Biden congratulated Boakai and the Liberian people on a peaceful presidential election and transition. The White House said the delegation highlights Americans' enduring commitment to supporting democracy and good governance in Liberia. According to the State Department, the visit also cements 160 years of diplomatic relations between the two countries. The U.S. has focused engagement with Liberia and consolidating democratic progress, improving capacity, transparency, and accountability of governance institutions. The two countries enjoy a bilateral trade and investment framework agreement. U.S. Secretary General Antonio Guterres has again appealed for a humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza and the unconditional release of all hostages. Guterres made the call in his message to the summit of the Non-Aligned Movement, NAM, at Kampala, Uganda. Leaders from the 120-member bloc met amid deep division globally, including rising geopolitical tension, climate catastrophe, widespread poverty, and raging conflict in Sudan, Ukraine, and Gaza. According to him, the UN has also affected as 152 staff have been killed. Meanwhile, disease and hunger are deepening. Although humanitarians are doing their best to deliver aid, they face constant bombardments and daily dangers amid enormous constraints posed by damaged roads, communication, blackout, and access denial. Hamas Qatar-based chief Ismail Haniyeh has held a meeting with the Turkish foreign minister and the first official contact between the two for more than 3 months. Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan made with Haniyeh on Saturday in Turkey. Hamas militants seized about 250 hostages when they launched unprecedented attacks in Israel on October 7th, and the release of the remaining captives, along with the establishment of a ceasefire as quickly as possible, were the main topic of discussions. According to one of the sources, Israel has vowed to destroy Hamas in response to the Islamic group October attack that resulted in the deaths of around 1,140 people, mostly civilians. According to an AFP tally based on the official Israeli figures, its relentless bombardments and ground offensive has killed about 24,929 people in Gaza, mostly women and children, according to Hamas-run health ministry in the territory. On business, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority has said it will spend 8.3 billion naira on transportation and travels in 2024. The agency disclosed this in a government-owned enterprise budget proposal submitted to President Bola Tinubu recently. The regulator proposed to spend 8,342,547.767 from proposed expenditure on travels and transport. The document also stated that NCAA budgeted 115,467,778 for local travels and others, and plans to pay 1,935,000 as a contribution to international organizations. Other expenditures contained in the proposed budget include the purchase of vehicles of 3 trillion naira, purchase for furniture and office fittings, 1,357,997 100,000 construction of office building, 303,970,000 provision of electricity, and 1,205,000. The agency also said it will spend 1 billion naira on airport maintenance of physical assets and facilities. A small and medium enterprise development agency of Nigeria, according to its 2024 budget, will spend a sum of 6.2 billion naira on the purchase of motorcycles and tricycles as empowerment programs for Nigerian youths and women. This is despite a full or partial ban by 12 state governments and the Federal Capital Territory on the operations of motorcycles. The governors in different reports said the embargo was part of measures to curb rising insecurity. The state includes Cross River, Kaduna, Enugu, Akwa Ibom, Kano, Rivers, Abia, Anambra, Adamawa, Borno, Kwara, and Zamfara. The agency saddled the responsibility of assisting small and medium enterprise to overcome poor infrastructure in the management of business operations and assessing financial services, amongst other challenges, earmarked a substantial amount of the empowerment. The momentum in the Nigerian Exchange Limited, NGX, moved up to a new height for the third consecutive week this year, with investors gaining an unprecedented 6.293 trillion of the close of trading over the weekend, the highest in the history of the Nigerian stock market. This comes as Nigerian currency naira sank deeper in the parallel market during the weekend trading of 1,270 naira to a US dollar, the weakest in history. Meanwhile, the NGX All-Share Index, ASI, a major stock market indicator, surpassed the 90,000 points mark, driven by robust investors' interest in diverse stocks across the initial insurance, oil and gas, and consumer goods sector to close on Friday at 94,538.12 points from 83,042.96 points at the previous week. Analysts of the market last week showed that the NGX market capitalization, which represents the total value stock in the exchange, surged to 51.735 trillion from 45.442 trillion the previous week. Consecutively, the year-to-date YTD return surged to 26.4%. The Nigerian Export Promotion Council, NEPC, says the volume of Nigeria's non-oil export in 2023 stood at 6.685 million metric tons of exportable products. The Executive Director, Chief Executive Officer, CEOs of NEPC, Nonye Ayeni, made this known at the presentation of the non-oil export performance for the year 2023 in Abuja. She says the continued increase in the volume of the nation's non-oil export reaffirms the widely held assertions that the sector held the key to the revitalization of the country's economy. Kike Lomo Okere has details.
The Executive Director and the Chief Executive Officer, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, says an increase in the volume and value of exportable goods and services and the repatriation of export proceeds will enhance foreign exchange inflow into the country, as well as stabilize the value of naira. The NEPC boss, however, acknowledged a decline in monetary terms of Nigerians' exports from 4.8 billion naira in 2022 to 4.5 billion naira in 2023. Ayeni listed the factors responsible for the decline to include political instability in many exportable countries, rejection of some Nigerian products, and exchange rates, among others. She therefore expressed the Council's commitment to tackle most of these challenges to ensure growth of the sector in shortest possible time.
Commodities in terms of total exported products were urea, fertilizer, which accounted for 20.10%, while cocoa beans came second at 13.19%. Sesame seed took the top position at 9.03%. There are quite a number of other exportable products that contributed significantly to huge volume of our export in 2023.
Considering the major challenges facing exporters is the issue of export reject, NEPC boss says the council is collaborating with relevant authorities to create awareness, build capacity in the area of good agricultural practice, labeling and packaging, and ensuring adherence to quality and standard of export in the global market. She said on the products exported, the NEPC boss says 273 different products were reported to have been exported in the period under review, ranging from manufactured, semi-processed, solid mineral to agricultural commodities. She says this figure reflected a notable increase of approximately 28.04% compared to the preceding year.
However, notably Brazil, China, and Japan emerged as the top 3 importing countries respectively for non-oil export products exported from Nigeria. 13 member countries of ECOWAS, excluding Cape Verde, actively engaged in the importation of Nigerian products throughout the year 2023. 1,694,000 metric tons, amounting to $343.9 million, accounted for 7.6% of the total export value. Interestingly, only Ghana made it to the top 20 global importers from Nigeria, occupying the 18th position on the export log.
She further rules out that Nigerian non-oil penetrates markets across 124 countries in America, Asia, Europe, among others. 13 member countries of ECOWAS actively imported Nigerian products, with 1,145 exporting companies actively exporting Nigerian products in the year 2023. According to NEPC boss, this figure can be improved with adequate funding, capacity building, and mentorship.
However, I wish to use this medium to implore financial institutions to take advantage of the opportunities in the non-oil export sector by supporting exporters to enhance their capacity to scale up production and access international markets, especially now that we have the African Continental Free Trade Zone, AfTA, which is the single largest economic bloc in the continent. This support is critical in increasing the basket of exportable non-oil exports, stimulating value addition, and thereby increasing our foreign exchange earnings.
She further reiterated the commitment of the Council to redouble its efforts towards repositioning the sector for sustainable and inclusive economic growth. Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
Will hold its monetary policy meeting 2024 on Monday and Tuesday, February 26th and 27th. It will be the first under Yemi Gardaso, the CBN governor, succeeding in battle Godwin Emefiele. The calendar of meetings, which guides the financial landscape, has been updated to reflect the first and subsequent meeting dates. However, the committee's composition, essential for decision-making, is yet to be constituted. And over now to agricultural product prices continue to surge across Nigeria despite the conclusion of December's festive period. January typically witnesses reduced demand post-Yuletide, leading to lower prices. However, 2024 has seen an unexpected defiance of this trend in food prices. The survey covering Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt and Maiduguri reveals increased prices for gari, beans, yams, corn, bread and cooking gas. Rice prices range between 65,000 naira and 68,000 naira per bag, while tomato prices have decreased in Lagos. And that's it on Meet the News, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Remember, we're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using a Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. See you again. Good afternoon.